Can the Genius Act actually push the XRP price to $250.00? While Chad Steingraber is sharing this, I wanted to take a look at the math and how all this could be possible. We're also going to take a look at some new news on the Genius Act. We're going to talk about Bill Gates. DZ Bank and Ripple have some new announcements we're going to get into, as well as RLUSD is available in the DFSA. If you're wondering what that is, we're going to go into that and why this is so important towards the end. And I got a nickel clip and a few other things towards the end. All XRP all the time. Let's go ahead and get into it. Here is the article. Here's how Genius stablecoin could take XRP to $250.00. Notably Steingraber. So they're quoting him here, right? Has consistently promoted the $250.00 price target since 2024, even during periods of market stagnation. In April 2024, while XRP traded 50 cents, he publicly stated he viewed a $250.00 XRP as its fair, true value. Trustingly, his position did not waver through the summer, specifically in August 2024 when he pressed about when he might begin taking profits. Steingraber appointed to the same $250.00 bench more recently in March 2025. He again reiterated his forecast. The community pundit remained firm on this prediction. So Steingraber really believes that this is something that he's doing constantly. I wanted to see how the Genius Act could do this. And so I plugged into Perplexity, and here's some of the information that it gave me. So I went over the article. Talk about Steingraber suggests he believes the Genius Act might be the key that finally sets XRP on a path to this ambitious price, a target that he's promoted for a year, consistently talked about this. Yes. While the document does not provide technical details about the Genius Act itself, it implies the following mechanisms. The Genius Act is a proposed stablecoin bill that, if enacted, could create regulatory clarity and potentially foster greater adoption and integration of digital assets like XRP within the financial system. Steingraber believes such regulatory clarity and the resulting institutional adoption would drive significant demand for XRP, pushing it above the 250 price mark. So, adoption of the stablecoin bill, obviously, Ripple would need to really, RLUSD would need to be used on a massive scale inside of the US to get to a price like that. Is it possible? I guess anything is possible at this point. If the Trump administration decides that RLUSD is going to be America's stablecoin because they're not wanting to get into central bank digital currency, something like that definitely could happen. And so here's Senator Loomis. Is a brand new clip from yesterday. Let me play it. In your view, what sort of week or month could this bill actually become law? Well, we're going to pass it next week. Okay. And so it will provide new markets for U.S. treasuries. It will help protect the U.S. dollar as the world reserve currency. It will provide a way for something like a traveler's check to be used digitally. It's pegged to the dollar. So it's a payment stablecoin, something that can be used for payments in a digital format. This is going to create more versatility for the US economy and move us into the 21st century. All right, upgrading our payment infrastructure, it's going to help us. Then Senator Loomis says, let the Genius Act get across. So maybe in the next 7 days, we could see that passed in the Senate. Bill Gates also, he predicted 1993, nearly 3 decades later, he partnered with Ripple to build it. Bill Gates is using cryptocurrency to fight global poverty. And so Bill Gates and Melinda Gates, their foundation has been working with Ripple for quite some time. Enter Ledger Protocol. And yeah, we're going to see how all this turns out. It would be cool if Bill Gates was right about Ripple too. And then it looks like DZ Bank, Germany's second largest bank, goes live with Ripple custody, serving 700 plus cooperative banks and handling $350 billion in assets under management. Here's a little bit more information if you wanted to get it. Germany's DZ Bank and the country's second largest bank custodian with over $350 billion in assets under custody has officially gone live with Ripple-powered asset custody platform. This marks the full-scale institutional rollout of Ripple's digital asset custody solution in the European banking sector, representing a significant milestone for both Ripple and the European financial infrastructure. The reason this is so big is that other banks, competing banks in and around Germany or the EU, will be looking at what DZ Bank is doing here. They are taking a position in the market. So this is going to put pressure on other financial institutions to roll out similar things for their customers, or, who could be other banks and financial institutions, or they could be retail investors or institutional investors. You're going to see all of this start to be rolled out pretty heavily, which is exactly what we need. We need more banks using the technology, bringing assets on-chain. That is really what we are looking to do here. Also, DZ Bank and Ripple partnership works on regulatory compliance that leverages Germany's Electronic Securities Act, which allows institutions to issue digital securities without physical certificates. This legal framework enables DZ Bank to manage tokenized bonds, crypto securities, and other digital assets using Ripple's infrastructure. So this is what we've been talking about for quite some time. And this is something to get exciting about. We're talking about the digitization of stocks and bonds and other types of securities. This is really, really cool. Scope of impact, $350 billion in assets under custody. DZ Bank's adoption of Ripple custody is the largest of its kind in Europe and positions the bank as a pioneer integrating blockchain solutions into traditional finance systems. Technology and use cases. Ripple Custody provides DZ Bank with a secure, compliant, and efficient platform for the full lifecycle management of digital assets from issuance to settlement. XRP plays a central role as a bridge asset within this infrastructure, facilitating seamless transactions and settlement. Significance, and analysts and industry observers have described this move as a CBDC infrastructure disguised as custody, highlighting Ripple's ambition to become foundation in the future development of tokenized assets and potentially central bank digital currency. Institutional integration. Ripple's approach has been characterized as a silent infiltration, focusing on embedding this technology deeply within regulated financial institutions rather than making a large public announcement or hype-driven campaign. So rather than going out and say, this is all hype, they're just going and getting stuff done. That is what this is saying. Ripple Custody broader arrangements and adoption. Ripple Custody is not limited to DZ Bank partnerships. The platform is seeing growing adoption and expansion globally. Talks about other clients. Ripple Custody serves a range of top-tier banks and financial institutions, including BBVA Switzerland, Société Générale, just say that with me, Société Générale. It just feels good, right? It talks about Forge, Société Générale, Forge, DBS, Rule Match, ARCX, Futureverse. The service is available across major financial markets such as Switzerland, Germany, France, UK, Singapore, and Hong Kong. And of course, in South Korea, the BEDAX. In February 2025, South Korea's institutional crypto storage firm BEDAX announced that it will be using Ripple Custody. So there's a lot of institutions going live right now with Ripple Custody. This is something we've been talking about for years, and now it's finally happening. Love to see that. I love to see that. Let me know down in the comments if you guys are bullish on this. Also, we got some information from Reese Merrick. Amazing to see RLUSD approved, right? So here is June 3rd. So this is just yesterday. Ripple, the leader in blockchain solutions. Lovely, lovely, lovely. RLUSD has been approved as a recognized crypto token in the Dubai Financial Services Authority for use within the Dubai International Financial Center. This approval reinforces RL's position as a trusted enterprise-grade stablecoin built with regulatory compliance, utility, and transparency at its core. Alongside today's approval under the DFS FSA's token regime, RLUSD is one of the few stablecoins globally to be issued under a New York Department of Financial Services trust company charter with the stringent safeguard, including one-to-one US-backed. I wanted to show you this clip, and I wanted to give you a little bit more information on the DFS. So let's play this clip first. Congratulations on ticking all the boxes required by the DFS What does this mean for you and the team at Ripple? Look, essentially, we're the first blockchain-powered cross-border